You've probably heard the story of the three arrows, but the real man behind that legend, his life was far more dramatic than any fable. Today's hero is Mori Motonari, a master tactician who rose from nothing to rule western Japan's Sengoku region, not with brute force but with wit, strategy, and the art of winning hearts. He may not be as globally famous as Oda Nobunaga or Toyotomi Hideyoshi, but in Japan, Motonari is revered as one of the greatest military strategists in samurai history. His life began not with privilege but with despair. Born a poor second son, he lost his father early and was driven from his home. He grew up as little more than a beggar. And yet, from that hopeless beginning, he would rise to become ruler of 8 provinces. His motivation, pure and simple, to survive. What he valued most wasn't winning. It was not losing, staying alive, outlasting your enemies. That was Motonari's true art of war. Born in 1497 in Aki Province, modern-day Hiroshima, his father was a minor local lord, his mother from a samurai family. As the second son, Motonari was never meant to inherit power, but fate had other plans. When he was just 3 years old, political chaos forced his father into early retirement. Motonari's life changed forever. He was taken from castle life and abandoned by his own retainers, a child, homeless, sleeping in a drafty shack, ridiculed by locals, but somehow he survived. He was saved by a kind noblewoman named Lady Sugihara. She taught him discipline and gratitude. Every morning, he prayed to the sun, a ritual he would continue for the rest of his life. This wasn't the upbringing of a bloodthirsty general. This was the origin of a wise and humble survivor, one who would change the course of Japanese history. At age 17, Motonari went to war for the first time. His opponent? The powerful Takeda clan. Everyone expected him to simply survive. But Motonari surprised everyone. Using clever formations and terrain, he won the battle and his name spread quickly. Once he inherited leadership of the Mori clan, he didn't rely on violence. He used diplomacy, cunning, and patience. His first rule of strategy: win without fighting. He formed marriage alliances with old enemies, turning rivals into allies. Where others drew swords, Motonari extended his hand. When outnumbered, he stirred conflict within his enemy's own ranks. Divide and conquer, with psychological warfare and manipulation. In one battle, he defeated 3,000 enemies with just 3,000 men. How? Terrain, timing, and trust in his troops. The original CEO of battlefield strategy. Motonari had 3 sons. One day, while watching them play in a snowball fight, he saw each child's personality and their potential. And so came the legend of the 3 arrows. One arrow breaks easily, but a bundle of 3, unbreakable. This wasn't just a moral lesson, it was a long-term strategy. Motonari didn't want to be a one-generation ruler. He wanted a legacy. He too told his sons, never forget your shared name. Even as they led different branches Kikawa, Kobayakawa, they remained united as Mori. A family brand, centuries ahead of its time. Eventually, Motonari became the undisputed ruler of the Sengoku region. But far to the east, a new power was rising, Oda Nobunaga. The two never clashed directly. Why? Motonari died in 1571 before Nobunaga's full rise to power. Still, they crossed paths indirectly. Motonari supported the Iko-Iki monks in Osaka who were under attack by none other than Nobunaga. After Motonari's death, His sons, especially Kaikikwa Moto Harinkabakwekwe Takakaj, took up the fight. And they held back Nobunaga's advance with sheer organization and political skill. The Three Arrows system didn't die with Motonari, it proved incredibly effective. Even Nobunaga struggled to break their unity. But the winds of history shifted, Toyotomi Hideyoshi rose to power, and the Mori clan lost influence. In the Edo period, they became a Tozama, an outsider clan. Yet they survived. Motonari's descendants ruled as daimyo for centuries. In the Meiji era, Mori Motoaki became a noble in the new government. His teaching "Protect the House" lasted far beyond his lifetime. The Mori name still commands respect today. Across Japan, especially in Hiroshima, historic sites honoring Mori Motonari remain. The legacy he built lives on. One of his famous quotes says, "Trust, once lost, cannot be reclaimed even with 10 times the effort." That's why he valued people, why he valued structure, why his clan lasted. Mori Motonari was more than a warlord. He was a builder of systems, a master of management, and a legend in leadership. He didn't just win battles, he built a legacy.